Hey, I'm Johnny B. Remember me from before? Or I guess if you're new here, I'm Johnny B from never before. Like a lot of millennials, I was raised by TV, and so can you. So let's go watch a thing. This movie is one of my favorite horror movies of the late 90s. She's All That. Whoa. You said you were talking about She's All That. How is She's All That a horror movie? She's All That is about a promising young artist who is stalked and tormented relentlessly by a classmate who singles her out for a part of a bet, just so that he could save his legacy as the coolest guy in school. Even though he's about to graduate, then he won't be in school anymore, so then he doesn't need to be, he won't be the coolest guy in school anyway, because he won't be going to that school.
Suddenly tomorrow's not just tomorrow. It's like the future, you know? No.
Evil runs rampant through this movie, which totally makes sense when you think about the fact that it is right over the Hellmouth. I guess Dean and Zach are just really lucky that Buffy was busy, probably fighting the mayor since it was 1999. Laney Boggs is the film's protagonist. She excels academically, but where she really shines through is artistic style. She can make paper mache like nobody's business. She even helps her working class dad by keeping the house in order, taking care of her younger sibling, and she even works nights to ease the family's financial burdens.
My balls.
She's compassionate, environmentally conscious, she pays attention to current events around the world, she gets too caught up in all of these other responsibilities and neglects her own needs.
I read about this riot in Mogadishu. This represents the pain of that night.
That's wonderful, Laney. But tell me something. Which part represents you?
Zach Siler's one of the film's antagonists. He has it all. He's popular, he's rich, intelligent, captain of the soccer team, everyone loves him, and he's dating the most popular girl in school. Think Cordelia vibes.
I am a goddamn legacy, all right?
Before she got cool and angel. So Zach returns from spring break. Taylor has a new tattoo, and she's moved on from their relationship. I mean, yeah, it's a relationship, but they're still in high school, aren't they? From their high school relationship to be with somebody from the real world.
What, like Rashida?
No, like the TV show, okay? Real World LA, second season, hello.
And it just gets worse when Usher announces the whole thing over the school intercom. That's rough.
Relax, man. No one knows you.
Hey, hang in there, Zach. It happens to the best of
Ooh.
us.
I mean,
Keep that head
that
up, huh?
sucks. Who hasn't been there, you know? Second in command of this wealthy cult is Dean, played by Paul Walker. So he starts getting Zach to fixate on the fact that because he just got broken up with, he's gonna leave high school without his legacy.
The next thing you know, you're Zach Siler. Bitch boy.
Zach feels humiliated. He's Zach Siler. Nobody should question him. Then he starts getting defensive and Zach's bravado shines through, bragging
I
that
got 2,000 girls in this school and I could bum monkeys with every one
simply by dating him, he could elevate any girl in their school to prom queen status.
the right boyfriend. Bam. In 6 weeks, she's the one being crowned prom queen.
Not to be a bitch, but who's gonna beat Taylor Vaughn?
The bet. Dean sees an opportunity and he comes up with the idea that they make a bet about it. You got 6 weeks to turn any girl that I choose into prom queen. So like the two old guys from the Muppets who make Dan Aykroyd trade places with Eddie Murphy. Ooh. Zach accepts the bet. Why not? And with the understanding that his peers are only there for his amusement and are just fuel to feed their massive egos.
Let's go shopping.
The bet on one of their classmates begins. So they start talking about the human cattle for their bet.
Oh, hey, how about this? Are you sure about bubbles? We could do better than that.
Body shaming. It's a level of disregard that's usually just held for Republicans when they're talking about poor kids. So there's a whole lot of body shaming going on before they eventually land on Laney Boggs.
Gentlemen, we have a winner.
For some reason is,
What, Laney Boggs?
an unfair choice to Zach. Maybe it's because of her bad hair extensions. I don't know. So there are two people in this movie who exist only to let us know that there are worse predators around, so, you know, we can let our guard down around Zach.
You jammed a 30-year-old flight attendant at 26,000 feet en route to Cancun.
The first is Dean Sampson, played by Paul Walker. He never misses an opportunity to take little jabs or goad. So he's the second in command of this cult, but he wants to be in charge. He wants to be the top guy. He's jealous of Zach.
You know, for 4 years I've watched you fool people into thinking you're some sort of god in this place.
Even though they are best friends. But he instigates the situation by goading Zach into the bet. Using the word goad a lot today.
Because by my calculations, you got 6 weeks until the prom, and if If Laney Boggs is gonna be queen, I'd say you pretty much got your work cut out for you.
And maybe he'll be able to swoop in and take advantage of Zach's victim after he's done with them.
if you're not gonna partake, do you mind if I do? 'Cause
He's negging her through the whole movie, meant not only to hurt Zach's chances at winning the bet, but also to plant little doubts in her subconscious that he can later use to manipulate
Yeah,
her.
so I called your house, and they said you're at the beach, so I figured you must be at your spot. You know, many a woman is lost in here.
Shut up, Dean.
You have to forgive our man here. His shorts are kind of tight.
This is called negging. He's just an all-around entitled jerk here. Dudes, if you are out there using, not just dudes, anyone, but it's usually dudes, let's be real. If you're using negging as a tactic to gain romantic favor from the object of your desire, you're a douchebag. Hey, Anus Face, I've been watching you from across the room. And you know what? Now that I'm up a little bit closer, your breath really smells like a rotten diaper. Do you want to go out by chance? You are a douchebag if you are using negging. I've said it. If your plan, your first thing to do is walk up and insult the person that you're trying to hit on, your breath smells like shit. You're a douchebag. Who's that for, huh? What are you doing? Well, hello, Anus Face. Don't be a dick, man. This gives us a little bit of an insight into Dean, and we can probably assume that this is his typical tactic when pursuing a sexual conquest. When he finally tells Laney about the bet that he and Zach made,
Enough's enough. This isn't cool anymore. I like this girl, and you gotta stop this whole bet thing.
he doesn't do it to help Laney. He does it because he wanted to bring her down, remind her of her social standing. Hey there, Anus Face. To increase the tools of manipulation at his disposal. But isn't this going to mess with the outcome of that bet? And derail Zach's chances of winning the bet. Just a terrible all-around guy. Next up is Brock, played by Matthew Lillard. He's, how do we phrase this?
I'm Brock Hudson!
You're a douchebag. He's a D-bag so filled with D-baggery that he was even kicked off of a reality show.
Yo, they kicked him out of the house.
And we know that D-bags can be successful on reality shows. His obvious self-serving personality is a prime example of things that we're taught to avoid in life, the types of people that we don't want to be around.
Put your brand on him.
Who once went to
Watch.
there.
Very brand.
You know what? Do me a favor. Why don't you all just stay out of my closet? God!
But somehow, through all of this unearned confidence, he skates through life completely unscathed. And you wonder how. I mean, why would that even be a thing you did? Why that happened? He's so narcissistic that he watches reruns of himself on The Real World.
Oh, wait, this record sensitive.
And even gets a tattoo of himself, which is really not that far off from Zach earlier in the movie when he stops in the hallway to kiss the picture of himself that's hanging up on the wall. As long as it leads to attention directed toward him, that's all he cares about. He doesn't care what's socially acceptable or even morally appropriate. Like I said, he's a D-bag. I gotta say, I really don't think this semi-adult should be showing up at a school campus and groping the students. And he definitely shouldn't be the only adult chaperone at a high school party.
I'm Brock Hudson!
He's just gross. The pursuit begins. So Zach makes his first attempt and Laney completely blows him off. It might have something to do with his tactic.
Hi, Laney. You got a second? What's up, Spaz?
He knows my name. That's not your name.
Maybe bullying her little brother is not the best way to go. He's really frustrated at being rebuffed in the first place. Then he gets home and has more stress added to him because his dad offers to call his buddy at Dartmouth.
You haven't heard from a single university yet. You know, maybe I ought to give Ken Wortham in the alumni office a buzz. Oh, I'm a call.
Just to help him get into college. Can you believe that? The joke's on you though, Rich Dad, because Zach's got a stack of acceptance letters thicker than that laptop on his desk. He just doesn't want to wear your stupid sweater anymore.
There's a picture of me in his office. I'm sitting on his shoulders wearing a Dartmouth sweatshirt.
And his sister Mackenzie, his little sister Mackenzie, gives him some revolutionary advice for a bitch magnet like him, that maybe you should just put in a little bit of effort. He takes this advice and thinks it means to go find out where she works. Follow her there. Put her job at risk.
Laney.
Interrupt her while she's helping a customer. So, does Laney appreciate these persistent advances? Laney's up front with him and tells him straight out,
Stalking is illegal in all 50 states.
She's not interested, doesn't want to associate with him, doesn't want anything to do with him in any way, shape, or form.
Come on, 5 minutes.
Miss.
5 seconds.
Just leave me alone. She even makes sure to let him know that she can't do anything with him because she has her art show, thinking, okay, this will get this guy off my back. Again, instead of taking his second no.
Are you always like this?
No.
Yes.
Her best friend Foggy makes sure this doesn't work and he offers Zach his ticket.
You can have my ticket.
Because I guess a bro code, maybe?
I kicked your ass in 3rd grade. I'll do it again.
Are you crazy? I mean, the best looking guy in school is stalking you, not the least bit curious.
So she goes to her performance, looks out into the audience and sees Zach there, even though she's told him she doesn't want him there. She doesn't want anything to do with it.
Pressing forward, surging, emerging.
So she's smart. She makes a point of letting everyone in the venue know what her stalker's name is and what he looks
Before you
like.
leave, our performer Laney has just informed me that there's an exciting new voice among us. Is there Zack Siler in the house?
He does a stupid hacky sack dance and a poem about how hard it is to be rich and popular. That's real rough.
Sack.
Everyone loves it, of course. Predators like Zach, that's what they do. They make themselves seem inviting and charming so that everyone likes them. Then when they're accused of things, everybody comes to their defense. Zach doesn't even acknowledge her performance, which she probably worked really hard on. Practicing, rehearsing, choreographing, conceptualizing, some more ings. But she's being friendly to him. She's not just shooing him away. Okay, you did the thing. So when they're walking down the street having a friendly conversation, he interprets this somewhat friendly change in her demeanor to be an invitation, and he makes a move.
You really broke out the big guns with that one, didn't you?
Laney, I was just...
No. I had an instinct. I went against it. This is my fault.
She turns him down again. I think this is 3 times here.
Laney, wait, can't we just...
Go, I'm gonna catch a ride with Mitt.
It might have something to do with his tactic. Well, hey there, anus face. Your breath smells like rotten baby shit. This is my family now. One of the ways that predators like Zach gain access and proximity to their victims is to ingratiate themselves into their social and family circles. So Zach shows up early Saturday morning and starts chatting up her dad, played by Kevin Pollak.
I got this over at the university. One of the fraternities that found this belonged to a football player who's actually a Heisman Trophy runner-up.
No kidding.
Because he's made plans to take Laney to the beach.
No.
Even though she's made no indication that she wants this.
You hate the beach?
The dad likes him, and now the little brother looks out and he sees, oh shit, it's the popular guy from school? Oh fuck, he's at my house? That's awesome! So he runs out and asks him to play Sega.
Hey, you wanna play some Sega?
So Laney tells him
Can't just keep showing up like this.
she's not interested in him. His reply is
And you can't keep avoiding me.
that little hint of threat, and then he gives her a little bit of a guilt trip about not letting him kiss her the night before.
Like the other night. What was that? Busy wigging.
So again, she says no.
There was major wiggage.
I think this is the 5th time in the movie. And instead of taking that no, he takes Wallace Wells up on his offer to play Sega. He says, okay, you don't want to hang out with me?
I'm in. How about that Sega?
I'm still going to be at your
I'm
house.
getting ready to play some Sega.
No, you're not.
I'm still going to force myself into proximity with you.
I believe I was invited.
I am uninviting you.
You're not the boss of him.
Man does have a point.
She would rather not have this predator in her home, so she quickly agrees, okay, I'll go to the beach with you.
But would it hurt you to smile once in a while?
The rich kid Colt shows up
Come on.
to make sure she knows how lucky she is to be in Zach's presence.
Yeah, but what's the deal? I mean, don't tell me you guys are on a date.
Is your name Laney?
No, thank God.
Insult her a little bit,
I've seen you in gym class. You run like a girl.
I am a girl.
play some volleyball, and then invite her to a party. Now, Laney doesn't want to go party with these people for obvious reasons, since, you know, they've treated her like garbage, made her high school life hell,
Might be a good idea for you if
You killed yourself.
or straight up bully her. So she makes up an excuse that she can't go to the party because she has to clean.
Hello.
I thought I said I was busy.
I believe you said you were cleaning.
But Zach waves his hand as a demonstration of the power he holds, and the soccer team shows up and cleans her house for him.
It's JB. Go get dressed.
So she eventually agrees to the forced makeover and haircut from
This
Zach's
particular
little sister.
Coif doesn't really go with your face shape.
And she walks slowly down the stairs because she doesn't want to go, and she even tries to fake an injury to get out of it. But Nerdy Girl took off her glasses and she's hot. And now that she's hot, everyone's accepting her. Well, almost everyone, I guess, except for the rude girl from the art class, who's too drunk to see that she's hot now and that things have changed.
A rich girl like me, and there you are, cleaning up my puke.
She says some really shitty stuff, so Laney paints her face like a clown and feels nice about it. Zach sets her up, bringing her to a party full of people that she doesn't know or feel comfortable around, and he instantly abandons her so that she'll feel safe when he comes running to the rescue after Taylor pours her drink on her dress.
You were having fun.
Everyone else is wondering,
Who the hell would nominate me?
So then we get Freddie Prinze Jr. and Paul Walker fighting naked in the locker room.
We were having fun today.
They're not naked. What? That doesn't actually happen? Sorry, I don't think that they were actually naked. I think they just fight. Paul Walker and Freddie Prinze Jr. don't actually fight naked. Maybe one of them is shirtless. Okay, they get into a fight in the locker room. So Dean starts making some sexual joke about Laney, which they'd been doing since the beginning of the movie. But Zach now has a problem with it because Laney's under his dominion.
You know, something like that can really screw up a guy's concentration.
Whatever, Dean.
He has staked his claim. She is his property.
It's not about that.
Oh, hey, man, I'm not bad.
And he will defend his property.
I mean, if you're not going to partake, do you mind if I do? Because I'm thinking she might be a great little jam. I swear to God, fucking hotshot.
Zach and Laney have their one moment where they actually have a connection because...
Is that your mom?
Laney opens up that her mom died of cancer.
She's beautiful. How did she die?
Cancer? I remember knowing that things were never going to be the same.
It's a very traumatic thing for a kid to go through.
Laney, you can't keep doing this.
So Zach relates by telling about how his dad made him wear the sweater of an Ivy League school that he'll never have to pay student loans to attend.
There's a picture of me in his office when I'm 5.
Are you listening to yourself?
I'm sitting on his shoulders wearing a Dartmouth sweatshirt.
Ooh, that's rough.
So?
Or at the zoo or someplace.
That's real rough. Dean volunteers to help with decorations for prom so that he can get closer to Laney and start to gain her trust. And Zach shows up and gets protective and starts shouting. At this point, everybody's watching. Dean announces that Laney was part of a bet.
Yeah, it was so stupid, Laney. Look, Zach said he can make any girl prom queen. And you were the one picked, so he thinks that if he takes you to the prom, it'll help you win.
My bet?
This upsets her.
Am I a bet? Am I a fucking bet?
Basically, this movie should just be Laney in every single scene saying...
Thank you. For a minute there, I forgot why I avoided places like this and people like you.
And she should just be saying that over and over because these people are terrible to her. Choreographed dancing queen. Laney isn't going to go to the dance with Zach, so she stays home and paints while Zach takes his little sister to the dance. Laney's dad takes a break from shouting wrong Jeopardy answers
There's a handsome young man actually
to tell Laney to go to prom with the guy who made a bet about her, standing upstairs in a tux uninvited. Usher does some magic spell that makes everybody do this elaborate choreographed dance. Laney doesn't win. Zach has lost the bet. Laney's best friend Foggy overhears Dean in the bathroom.
Number 409 is about to become a historical
talking
landmark.
about his plan to take advantage of her that night.
I shelled out $300 for this room. Tonight is definitely my night.
Because of the bro code, apparently he can't tell Laney. He's got to tell Zach.
You want to get out of
So
here?
he rushes to the stage where Zach is giving his acceptance speech and just
I don't know about
shouts
the
it.
rest of you,
Zach, over here. Zach.
but I'm hoping I never forget that.
Zach, over here. Zach!
So Zach's driving around trying to find them to stop this from happening. So he's on his giant cell phone calling all these numbers and...
You have a room 409?
I guess it's okay for him to be on the phone while he's driving, because if he hits somebody, his dad probably knows a guy.
On his shoulders wearing a Dartmouth sweatshirt.
So Zach goes to Laney's house. He tells her he's sorry. She tells him
Sexual harassment is still a big issue these days.
it's okay because she had a foghorn that she blew in his
Push
ear.
a little button and it makes a noise like a foghorn. You can hear it about half a mile away.
And the two are in love.
Like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. You know, except for that whole hooker thing.
You know, that whole prostitute thing. What about that fucking bet? So Zach, he's a man of his word. He's gonna live up to the bet. He lost, he's gonna pay his end, even though he's no longer friends with Dean. We see that Dean has an earache from the attempted assault, and Zach's actually naked. And we finally find out what the terms of the bet were, which I didn't see a pile of clothes. I guess we wouldn't have, but was he naked the whole time, or did he undress while he was sitting?
Zach Siler.
It seems like you're putting the rest of the audience there in a pretty weird position. I mean, they don't care if you lost the bet. They didn't ask to see you naked. If he was naked the whole time, nobody saw him walking up? Nobody? She's All That isn't really a horror movie, but the things that Laney experiences, the way this entire community treats her, is pretty damn terrifying. She has no control over anything, and it seems that everyone will do whatever it takes to make sure that her pursuer gets what he wants.
Made the big shot.
And this movie could definitely easily be re-edited and have some different music cues to be a pretty damn scary horror movie.
Come on, scary and inaccessible from the story. What the hell are you trying to pull? Come on. It's bullshit. Well, I believe I was invited.
I am uninviting you.
And it's not far off from the way Laney was treated in the movie. Our 90s sensibilities were a little weird, and we had a lot of movies like this that were billed as comedies, but when you examine the plot are super fucked up. The toxic masculinity on display throughout this movie is...
I swear to God,
heavy. Not only are the men in this movie incredibly entitled...
I realize it's a difficult concept for a bitch magnet such as yourself to grasp, but make a little effort.
But they treat women as though they're just objects to be, won and displayed for their own social and personal gratification.
You jammed a 30-year-old flight attendant at 26,000 feet en route to Cancun.
The dudes in this movie kind of suck, and...
Hoover it.
Zach making that bully eat pubes while his future wife Buffy watches did not absolve him of the shitty things he did in this movie. The guys in this movie face little to no consequences for their actions, and...
No way, man, those are his pubes.
For the most part, they're rewarded for what they've done. You gotta be better, dudes.
You have to forgive our man here. His shorts are kind of tight.
She doesn't owe you anything, so when she says no, hoover your pride and move on.
Hoover it.
Don't take it as an opportunity to find ways to force her to spend time with you. If you've got a different philosophy or another comedy that's actually a horror movie, let me know. Drop it in the comments. I'll check it out. Prop up my shallow ego by clicking that like button, and you'd like to hear me talk more in the future, wouldn't you? Be sure to subscribe so that you hear me talk more in the future. Wouldn't you like to hear me talk? Anyway, I'm Johnny B. I was raised by TV.